Hello, everyone. Welcome to Satoshi live webinar. Today, I'll tell you more about this awesome solution. Let's slowly start to begin our presentation. I'll share the slides. So let's slowly but surely begin. So hello, as you might know, my name is Alfred, and I'm the creator of scandiweb and chief technology officer of scandiweb. And I and my team worked on creating a new vision for what the future of e-commerce might look like, at least based on our experience and what we believe is useful and what we saw popular among our customers. So what is Satoshi? Satoshi is, first of all, an interactive demo. And this demo was created to showcase and to basically distill the knowledge that we as a scandiweb have accumulated over the past 20 years, and which we also within scandiweb team have accumulated and learned as while maintaining and supporting our customers, building extensions and stuff like that. So first of all, it's important to define that Satoshi is a vision and it's not a production product. But let's talk about this a bit later. It's also a sandbox made to speed up innovation. So, as you know, scandiweb has slowed down its innovation in past years. There weren't any two major versions. We have migrated to TypeScript. We've built a plugin system, but nothing changed in a major way. And the main reason behind that was pretty much the complexity within the product. So many files, so many features supported. And from a perspective of a customer or a developer starting to work with scandiweb, that might be cool. But on the other hand, we start to lose in terms of technology stack and possibly mostly technology stack. We really wanted to find a new solution here, so build a better, more robust front-end experience, but we needed a playground. And we also had many ideas that would be just too complicated to implement in scandiweb to test and make open source. So we've built a demo that we used to showcase solutions to customers. And this basically means that Satoshi is not, and this is the sadliest slide in this presentation, a next version of scandiweb, but it might become a part of your website. What that means is that we will slowly, without any hurry, continue observing what customers think about features that we've released within Satoshi, and we'll continue to try bringing this methodology, which I'll talk about in just a sec, to different platforms, to different technology stacks, and basically formulating our vision of a perfect Hiva theme or perfect Shopify theme or perfect standalone front end for your e-commerce website. And also a better scandiweb. So once we figure out a solution, we might bring features from Satoshi to websites across the ecosystem, including scandiweb. And if you are the customer currently running a website like scandiweb on scandiweb or on any other basically technology stack, we are more than happy to try bringing features you have seen and experience you have seen within Satoshi to your store. And this would help us to basically understand the demand and also create a ready solution that we could reuse in the future on multiple different platforms. So let's define what is that methodology and why should I even care about Satoshi, and yeah, what are we standing for? So what do we believe in? And the first and the most important thing about Satoshi is being meticulous in crafting seamless experience. And that's a sales pitch basically, but the idea is to not just focus on functionality that we as a team always did, because as you know, scandiweb is still most feature-full solution for Adobe Magento in terms of out-of-the-box functionality for standalone frontends, but also on look and feel. And we really want your e-commerce stores and the e-commerce stores of the future to feel like they are served by a butler and not and being not destructive, and not disturb the users with any unnecessary things. So rather flow beautifully. And it's very hard to describe the feeling, basically. How could I say I want the website to feel the same? It's very hard to determine this. So that's why, and that's the main reason why we really wanted to build this demo, to show the difference, to show how this could look like, could feel like, and then to tell all of our customers basically that, hey guys, like that's how you want to feel. Then let's try to bring this to you and to make it a reality for your specific case. So the next important thing is we really wanted to build a flexible technology stack vision of the front-end architecture. So I am specialized specifically in building front-end solutions. Of course, as a creator of scandiweb, how else would it be? But for me, I do believe that front-end is not just this React architecture, server-side rendered, or I don't know, hydrated from server. That's the same thing, but I mean client-side or server-side rendered. It's also all of these native solutions built for all of these platforms like Shopify and like Adobe Magento. And I think that it could be awesome if all of these developments that we have accumulated within scandiweb and within scandiweb to be propagated onto these native platforms as well, because there is a lot of stuff that React offers and what scandiweb offers that is currently not really possible or existent or present, especially like this feel, which we offer with Satoshi in the ecosystem overall. So we really want to make it a reality, make good feeling websites a reality and a new standard. So we would like to stand in front of this revolution of basically amazing feeling websites. And we will try to do everything we can, which means basically adjusting and adopting this technology and this feel to as many platforms as we can. And we'll also be looking for the best technology stack to do it, because at the moment, the project is quite manageable. And as I mentioned, it's a small radio-controlled rocket if we compare it with scandiweb, which is like this huge, humongous rocket with many complex solutions and tools baked inside. So we want to keep Satoshi flexible, and that's the idea behind it. And finally, the last value, I would say, is to stay inclusive and to build inclusively for all audiences instead of just complying with standards. And what it means is that we want to build websites that do not simply pass core web vitals. We want to build websites that provide a perfect user experience throughout navigation. We want to eliminate loading. We want to make sure that there is no dependency on a customer internet connection. This means like preloading data or maybe reusing data from previous pages. And you can understand how huge of a challenge this is if we're talking about like fully server-side rendered, no React applications, because there is just no raw data. So how could you reuse parts of the page? That seems really challenging. But we really believe that's possible and have ideas on how we can do it. And the same goes about accessibility. You know, all of these standards like web content accessibility guidelines, they provide a lot of very useful tricks to make your website accessible. But ideally, it shouldn't be done retrospectively. Ideally, it should be just built this way while considering that there would be many users of many different requirements using the page, not requirements, but rather preferences. So we want to support different contrasts, different motion ratios, and yeah, navigation with keyboards, navigation with mouse. It's quite important to do it from the very beginning instead of just complying with standards. Sites that just comply with standards usually provide or sacrifice, I would say, experience for some categories of users instead. Like making others suffer, yeah, instead of someone else. Okay, enough on values. A little ad break. If you do share the values that I have just mentioned, please reach out, because we are seeking to find as much. We are seeking basically to find partners to try this vision with and to bring their ideas to reality and to basically align our ideas better and to see what's working, what's not, and to get more production validation for our observations made based on the past experience. So we can apply our vision to your websites. Please feel free to reach out if you find information I've just shared close and relatable, let's say. Now let's talk a bit about features. So what is Satoshi internally? Like how are we structuring our product? I was planning to do this section as basically a showcase of technology and stuff like that, but I feel like I should just iterate over features you have seen on the website and possibly break them down so you could better understand what makes this website feel so good. Why does it feel so good? So maybe we could bring some realistic or I would say material understanding to the feelings that we express during the website browsing. All right, so let's begin simply by taking a look at addition to cart. As you can see, again, transactional notifications visible right off the box, but also always pre-selecting the default options, something that already existed in scandiweb, but here it's brought to a new, I would say, level, because we try to minimize the amount of unnecessary visual clutter on the page. So if you came to the page, likely you either liked it because of the color, or you liked it because of size, of that it matched your size or other filtering criteria. So you just like that. So once you open the page, we offer you to simply select size if you are interested, instead of just looking at it. So it's immediate call to action, and it always like that. So it always asks you if you would like to change your size or not. So it's very intuitive. Just like in the store, you either look for the size or you just ask the assistant to help you. And you can also notice, possibly not in the screenshot, that the errors are scoped. So we try to avoid showing red and orange notifications as much as possible, which was a trend in scandiweb, and to scope all errors within the location of their invocation. So you enter the wrong quantity, it will show you an error, or most likely it will just won't allow you to do that. That's another trick up our sleeve, like predict wrong inputs, stuff like that. Transitions, another very important point. Having a great visual transition allows to hide loading and skip both skeletons and loading spinners and animations, which I believe are which distract customer attention and break the immersion into your store, because you can't control them, and everything you can't control, I believe, is not a good thing, because the control is what builds the customer experience shopping on your website. Finally, you can see that in the cart page, while after transitioning, we make options to modify your cart item pretty much instantly available. And the same animation, and you also can see that this animation basically anticipates the next page. So you don't really notice how the loading happened, how that stuff changed. Okay, enough about transitions. Just know that they are important. And despite you might see here, this animation is implemented using efficient CSS properties and approaches. The same goes about all of these animations, but I'm mentioning this now. So they will work great even on slow devices, and they don't require new APIs. Transition APIs specifically, because they are still implemented on the HTML level and not on the browser level. So they will work on older devices, newer devices, and devices that could never support the new modern transition API. So removal from products, also a nice thing to show. Again, not much to show here, just a beautiful idea that you can decrease quantity and then delete an item, instead of just always having this ugly trash can item always visible, trash can button always visible. Many interesting ideas that we played around with. And you can also see that we try to avoid any shifting animations. So there is pretty much nothing just popping into existence. Everything slides or presents itself. And this presentation of an element actually helps to focus customer attention. You will see shortly that we really try to play around with the customer focus, such that everything happens exactly like user expects, and he never feels lost. And you might have experienced this feel of being lost in a website before. for example, when you opened filters and they covered the entirety of your screen and the close icon was very small and you were kind of lost and you had to reload the page for them to hide, or double click on a very small, not really usable close icon in the top right corner. Of course, this is all about design and user interface and in the end and user experience, but think about Satoshi as this approach to meticulously think about all of these details and combine our expertise and user experience with the execution with attention to detail. And I would say basically Satoshi is all about attention to detail and having full control over the customer experience on your digital point of sales. So back to our prototypes here, you can see that that's another case of emerging customer into your website by focusing his attention on opening model, by zooming it a little bit in, and you can see the subtle effect of zoom of the background, which really sells the feeling that you're currently in this small little pop-up looking at it. And yeah, you can see that we are trying to hide everything that's not really essential for a customer, but could become necessary. So we try to hide everything ugly, everything destructive. Why I'm saying destructive? It's not destructive, it's distractive from the customer, keeping his experience controlled. So he sees a product he selected and he sees a button which would lead him to checkout. And if he really needs, he can expand stuff, see more, and we can play around with it. For example, we could change this button to confirm selection, I don't know, and on click of this confirm selection, we could show this model with upselling items or cross-selling items, basically upselling, I guess, with items that you could add to cart additionally. But now the customer would have to focus his attention on it because the pop-up has just revealed them and moved everything he has seen before to the background. So you see, with this more thoughtful control over customer focus, would gain some additional abilities to convert customer more and bring our conversion rates up. And I'll tell you more about our tracking of all of these numbers in the next section of our workshop, because that's quite essential for the future of our product, Satoshi. All right, again, fix to the screen call to action buttons, because if we want the customer to convert, we want him to convert at any point he believes he is ready. So ideally, we always want this button to be visible, and we use this idea on all pages, like product, cart, product listing, it's checkout, whatever. So whenever we believe customer is ready to convert, we basically serve this link to a conversion to him. All right. Navigation of multiple levels, nothing too crazy here. Just see how navigation is coming, navigation inducing buttons are coming from expected directions. So if something would navigate you back, it slides from the left, because it basically means that this will bring you in this direction there. So it's also basically a thoughtful approach to animation direction and the flow of general website. And this allows to basically, again, focus customer attention and match his expectations, because matching the expectations is basically the same as not distracting the customer from his awesome shopping experience. And yeah, you can also notice that we make sure to keep everything related to intentional shopping in one place. So as you know, there are like intentional and not really intentional shoppers. And for non-intentional shoppers, we have beautiful homepage selling different items visually, videos and stuff like that. But for our intentional shoppers, we have navigation that's packaged in this beautiful model, as you can see, with a search and menu items, as well as history of our company, possibly, and blog and stuff like that. Specifically, also a login button in one place. So it's pretty much everything you might need if you want to play a role of your own shopping assistant and you want to not just stroll through our homepage, but you want to find something and you are looking for something very specific, you can do it in one place. So you can see we merged search and the menu, and I don't have examples here, but on the website, you will find that you can easily transition between search and the menu seamlessly, again, which is the keyword behind Satoshi, a seamless experience. All right, let's move on. We got a few more features to showcase. This one, a very intuitive feature, which I had to argue with our management to keep because they really wanted to make it as a plus button. So you press and it zooms, and then you kind of press again, or you pan it with a finger and then you close it again. And this, I believe, is the past generation of stores, because it's not what we as a customers expect. I and everyone else is a common Instagram user or Facebook user, and you all know that you can just pan your thing in, and once you release it, it just boom goes away. And I never seen this implemented on a website, possibly because of complexity of APIs. But we really invested the time into that, and I think we made it work very smoothly. So you can see that when you pan, it really focuses your attention on that image, and it removes everything which could distract you. The models, the navigations, everything gets removed. And you can just pan and move your two fingers there, and it will just follow. It will just do what you expect it to do. And that's the beauty behind that solution. Yeah, just wanted to brag about our nice zooming feature, sorry. Finally, yeah, the refinement of products. Again, there is a lot to talk here about. It's commonly done very poorly. We tried to do it. We tried to showcase many features at once. So possibly the experience might not be ideal, but we're really proud of what we've got working on here. So you can see again that the customer attention is being focused on a model of his choice, and or of a filter options of his choice, and then these filter options transition from one to another, showing the inheritance and the connections between them. You're never just white screen, blink, another white screen, which is distracting. Distracting. What a word. And yeah, you can see that we try to have both shortcuts to filters horizontally, and then also all filter view vertically, because we have found that this is the way people expect filters to be. Like it's useful to search quicker like that, but once you are really into that, and once you're searching with intention, not just visually, it's better to see them vertically. So we made them vertical. And you can also see that there is some indication of whether something inside is selected. And there is also an indication and quick access to removal of already selected filter options. And you all can see this somewhere. Not here, because I decided to not put this, as feature section is already too long. Let's shortly and I would say briefly visit the keyboard navigation. Keyboard navigation, another important aspect, and many websites get it wrong. And this really aligns with our idea of inclusive design over just matching the requirements of the web specifications. And here you can see that we trap focus in models. So once you open something, you get trapped inside, and you can press escape, or you can basically do something within model that would bring your focus back to the main page. You can see that we have implemented the highlight of selected elements, which is also uncommon because usually it's something very subtle or something that's not visual, but that specifically needs to be visual because it's commonly used by people with visibility disabilities. So yeah, a lot of things to think about when you're trying to build something inclusive, and when you consider interests and basically preferences of users of a specific group, whether it's accessibility or it could be even just as simple customer groups. And this thinking, again, is what I've mentioned here in the menu. In the menu, we really think about different groups of customers, and we try to build our websites inclusive. All right. Contrast, movement preference support already mentioned, so we'll pass this section. And another ad break. So let me pop into the screen. Hey, want your store to feel the same? Reach out. The same as you have just seen in these beautiful features. And again, the important word here is feel, because I believe these features are not really tied to a specific design. They are rather tied to a feeling or an idea, like being inclusive or directing customer focus very thoughtfully, or providing seamless experiences and avoiding loading and blinking. Everything of this is kind of important, and we can make this happen on your specific store. So feel free to reach out, and we will apply our vision to your website. Good. Thank you for for staying with me on this beautiful ad break. Moving on to our goals and the future of our beautiful product. So what's the future of Satoshi, you might ask? Let's observe and let's pay a little attention to these amazing AI-generated images. I really invested my time into this presentation. This was like a 20th attempt of getting metallic 3D render of a hopper. No, how it was called, I forgot. Basically, as you can see, our goal, and sorry for distracting your attention, I tried to we in Satoshi tried to basically collect a production data. Our goal right now is to validate all of our observations and decisions that were made during application design and iterate over them to collect as much of real-world case studies and testimonials, because we believe that combining them and seeing a real-world impact of our product would benefit the product the most. First of all, because we'll learn new tricks, and second of all, because we will have a base to basically explain and to prove that this feeling that you're feeling are actually making customers buy more or making customers stay and view more products. So basically, they have a positive impact on your store. And this is not just this feeling inside of me that makes me shake in excitement. Right. Another goal for us is to expand our user experience handbook. As mentioned before, We want to cover the entirety of modern e-commerce experience. So want to finish up and deliver our vision of desktop and our vision of customer account. There might not be as much innovation there, and we might not actually do it. And here is the important point. This is crucial because this could blot the scope of Satoshi, and this could result in, again, increase in the cost of experimenting with it. So we might build a separate version of Satoshi for desktop and keep it desktop only. And that's a question, because there could be a reason to do it, because it could be better to showcase desktop experience in a little bit different format, and we have some ideas on that. So let's anticipate that, but for now, that's just the plans and the goals of ours. Yeah, and again, iterate, and again, iterate based on the experience obtained from the real world observations. Finally, we have to be ambitious, and I am, and we are. So we want to become a go-to solution, which means is we want to be accessible and available on all platforms, bringing this amazing feeling of luxury experience basically on all platforms of your choice, making you select the technology stack and us providing the feeling of your website. So we want to be the delivery managers of your website look and feel. And that's kind of the goal, regardless technology stack. Okay, interested in following our journey? Subscribe to our newsletters and we'll keep you updated, because there is a lot of things cooking and we are quite excited to share and to keep you up to date with our insights. All right, I will end the workshop there. So I'm really thankful to every one of you who joined today. Thank you so much. I haven't had a public speeches in quite a long time. I'm very happy to do it again, because there is something new to share. I was hiding in a basement, basically writing code and helping people for quite a long time. Finally, something exciting to share, and I hope you share my excitement. We are now moving to questions. So if you have any questions, please feel free to ask, and I'll be your host to answer them. And I do have 2 messages in the chat right now. So just 2 people sharing that I did a great job. Thank you so much, Vladimir, and thank you so much, Yusuf. That's a pleasure to hear. Will I get any questions? I guess I will give some 5 to 10 minutes. No, that's too much. Let's give 1 to 2 minutes to maybe ask questions if you have some. And if you have none, then I guess we will round this section up. And I'm really thankful again for everyone who joined. There is a question from scandiweb asking, do we already have someone who is using Satoshi so we can collect the production data? Oh, that's a question from LinkedIn. All right. So yeah, indeed. We already are in a progress of testing Satoshi features on multiple websites. And there are like 5 to 10 of them at the moment. So the team is quite busy building and working on these feature implementations. Right now, the technology stack for these features is scandiweb and Hiva. So we are validating And right now, the results seem quite promising. So customers are very happy. But stay tuned for in-depth analysis and papers, basically proving my words, because they will follow. Another comment is great vision and design, but can we hear something about the bugs that are currently reported through GitHub? Yeah, thanks for asking. So scandiweb, what's up with scandiweb? What is the current state of this project? Indeed, there are bugs reported within the scandiweb, and there were no commits for a prolonged period of time. And here is why that happened. So first of all, we were how Satoshi started. Satoshi started by actually us trying to implement a newer version of scandiweb, where a lot of ideas were initially tested. But what we figured out quickly is that this migration would cost our community a lot, and we would need to learn a lot of new tricks, and we would need to teach our community a lot of new tricks. And what we decided is to freeze that development and start working on Satoshi. And that took us a few months, basically. And that's why there were no comments. There actually is a private repo where we are working on scandiweb new version, trying to solve problems inside of that, but then we freeze that work and joined. And going back to original question, what's up with bugs? We have intentions to keep scandiweb up to date with newest Magento versions. So I believe the next release of scandiweb would contain both the code to or upgrade functionality, as well as the effort in bug fixing merged from the scandiweb 2 branch, because yeah, basically this idea is of scandiweb 2 is currently on hold, and Satoshi is our vision right now. So we are not yet ready to transform scandiweb into anything else, but we are responsible and we feel responsibility for it. So we will keep it up to date, and we'll try to release bugs we'll try to fix reported bugs periodically. We are very open to pull requests, so if you guys have a power and a will to contribute, please feel free to do that. And our amazing maintainers, along with me, will try to make your changes a part of our shared code base. I hope that answers the question. Another question is, may this Satoshi product replace scandiweb sometime? As I mentioned in this presentation, scandiweb or Satoshi is not a new scandiweb version. It's a vision, but it will grow into basically a standalone front end, and it will grow into some implementations for native front ends for e-commerce platforms of your choice. So as I mentioned, we plan to bring this vision into a reality on multiple stacks, technology stacks, and this may become the replacement or an alternative to scandiweb. And also, if we see a huge demand from the community to basically explore the features of, not explore, but have the features of Satoshi, we might adjust the architecture of scandiweb to better suit them and bring more control of animations and customer focus and possibly accessibility to open source users of scandiweb, but we are not in a hurry to do that. And that's important to highlight because our priority right now is validating our vision and bringing this amazing look and feel to as many production websites as possible, and validating and checking out the technology stack and basically building solutions for the needs of our customers. Another question is, when will we'll be able to use it on our websites? The question is as follows. The answer to this question is a bit weird because there are no plans, at least right now, to open source this solution, at least in the way scandiweb was open sourced. We might go for some partnership related activities. So we might provide an access to the code base and to approaches and to features to our partners. But again, this is not defined at the moment. But what we definitely can do is we can bring these features to your stores through our competence, and we are ready to maybe, depends on the management decisions, do some discounts or possibly think, because this feeling and these features still require production validation. But again, this is not my decision. If we are starting some new project about Magento PWA, are we ready to go with Satoshi? No, we are not ready to go with Satoshi. Satoshi is a vision of a front end. It's a vision of look and feel, and its features are just presentations of how the customer could experience your website. So it requires development and manual labor to basically bring these features to your existing websites or to new websites. Of course, you could just take Satoshi implementation right now and try to adjust its front-end, back-end, basically a proxy server to your Adobe Magento store or Shopify store. But that headless approach is something we are working on as well. So once there will be a solid decision on headless solution architecture, we will announce it. As of right now, the technology stack of Satoshi is Remix for server-side rendering. It's React for rendering the application and hydrating it. But we made some questionable choices in terms of UI libraries. Specifically, we love the development experience, but we hate the overhead we got from emotion CSS polluting our main thread activity. So we are moving on to something new from this UI library, and that's the beauty of having a small product that you can tweak and play around with, because once we find the perfect formula, we can build off it into basically a headless solution for your e-commerce platform with amazing look and feel. But as of right now, Satoshi is just about look and feel. It's not about building new and new. It's not about coding specifically in the way that we intended. It's about sharing this and showcasing the vision and bringing this vision to life, using and reusing parts from the current implementation. And this would mean that we'll also work hard to make approaches and decisions described in this presentation features available cross-platform in terms of technology stack. So we would really want them to work both in React paradigm and in pure HTML rendering with native JavaScript, ideally with as little of dependency list as possible. Another question, so as a standalone theme, will customers be able to buy a theme for their usage, or will be sold only to Scandi customers? If that will be a standalone theme, would be great to have a sort of integration with ReadyMage. I think, and yeah, again, I think ReadyMage is an amazing service. They are great partners of ours. They helped a lot to deploy Scandi PWA projects rapidly and basically instantaneously, and they help scandiweb to develop projects. So thanks a lot to ReadyMage team. I currently have no idea of what will the final headless architecture for Satoshi be. So I have a vision. I don't have a certainty that that's the way to go. So that's why I can't promise that ReadyMage will be the go-to partner. Possibly we'll build a solution that's easier to host on platform-specific ecosystems. I'm not sure. So it all depends on final decision in terms of technology stack. If we go the route of building our own headless frontend based on Satoshi. And as of right now, we have such intentions, but we have other intentions as well. And these intentions of building the headless frontend out of it are not as high of a priority as testing out the features, bringing them to real world, and making more customers across the world happier by enjoying this amazing user experience that we have created. I don't see any more questions popping up in the chat. I'll give it one more minute. And then we'll proceed to rounding this session up. I was very proud and very happy to have you all on board here today. Thank you so much for joining in. And I wish you a very productive and happy day today. So see you later, alligator. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone.